Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, Jacqueline and I are going to show you eGuidelines Plus. This is an online site where access to the guidelines and various clinical tools and resources are made available to hospitals, ambulatory surgery centers, and health system subscribers. My name is Michelle Grove, and I'm an account executive with the AORN Healthcare Organizations team.
Hi, and this is Jacqueline Eastland. I'm an inside sales rep on the same team as Michelle, and we work very closely together.
So first, we are going to go into the live site, and I'm going to walk you through the various features, starting with the guidelines. You'll notice when you're on this page, there are stars listed next to all of the guidelines. This allows you to save a particular guideline as a favorite. You'll also see these stars throughout all of the tabs of information that we have throughout the site. And Jacqueline will point that out to you later in our presentation. But first, I want to open a guideline and show you that it comes in 3 different views. It automatically opens in an outline view. You can expand all the sections to see it in a full textbook view. From here, you can also view the table of contents, print, share, and search for anything specific that you're looking for within a guideline. On the right-hand side of all the guidelines are the tools and FAQs that are also associated with those guidelines. One of my favorite features is the quick view. This is what I call the Cliff Notes version of the guidelines. This is where you can view pictures and videos and easy to read bullet point components of each guideline. I find this really helpful for educational purposes and can be used by the staff you have who are unlikely to read the full guidelines. Another really great benefit to having access to the guidelines electronically is as our guidelines and recommendations are updated, you will always have the most current information available to you in your facility. In addition to the guidelines, we have at a glance, and there are currently 5 categories: anesthesia, medication, positioning, procedures, and skin prep. We're going to take a look at the procedures. This is really useful for your staff who haven't done a procedure, skin prep, or position before, or maybe for someone who hasn't done it in a while and needs a refresher. So if we open the specialty of orthopedics, you can see an example if we go to the total hip arthroplasty. On the left-hand side, you see the table of contents, again, making it easy for you to jump to a particular section you're interested in, but it will walk you through the indications for the procedure, preparing for the procedure, positioning, and so on. One of the newest features within the site is the ability to see a picture of the instrumentation that's used in a procedure. It also tells you the alternate name, what it's used for, and the specialty that it's commonly used in. So we've reviewed the guidelines and at a glance. We also have many tools available to help put evidence-based recommendations into practice. And you can search the tools by the type, as well as by a guideline. So if you're preparing a presentation on sterile technique or surgical attire, you would be able to view all of the tools that we have available to that particular guideline. or if you wanted to see what are all of the case studies or all of the competency verification tools or in-service PowerPoints that we have available. By clicking there, then you will see the full list of that particular type of tool. Most of the tools on the site are able to be downloaded and edited for facility-specific customization. We also have an FAQ section, and I find this really helpful if I'm going to be doing a presentation to my staff where I'm anticipating I might get a lot of really difficult questions. So for example, surgical attire. We've outlined all of those most commonly asked questions, and we have answers available for you to review. It's also helpful for your staff to find answers to any questions that they may have as well. But let's say you have a question about something and you don't know exactly where to go. By typing in the first word or the first couple of whatever it is that you're looking for, it will automatically bring up the questions where, in this example, nail is mentioned in that question. In addition, we also have some other features that are a little bit more specialized. We have information for the RNFA and for the sterile processing team and so on. I'm also going to give you a sneak peek into something new that is coming to the eGuidelines Plus site, and that is the Accreditation Assistant. This feature will serve as a crosswalk between the Joint Commission standards and the AORN guidelines and related tools. So if we look at the infection prevention and control standards, and let's, for example, look at standard precautions. This crosswalk is going to link all of the AORN resources we have that are associated with this particular element of performance. So if we look at environmental cleaning, here are the two guidelines associated with this element of performance, as well as tools. There's an audit tool, a competency verification tool, policy and procedure templates, and PowerPoint presentation, all aligned with this particular element of performance. This is really going to help you and your facility translate the Joint Commission requirements into the very specific evidence-based clinical practices that AORN provides. So now I'm going to hand things off to Jacqueline to kind of walk through the logistics of having an eGuidelines Plus subscription.
Hi, everybody. This is Jacqueline. Now that you've seen the AORN guidelines and what a valuable resource this can be for you and your colleagues, I'm going to talk about how to access the site and the different types of subscriptions. Let's first look at access. As you can see on the home page, you can access your latest favorites that is highlighted on the right-hand side there. This is how you set up your favorites. If you want to go back to something that you've been working on and you got interrupted, you can just highlight that as a favorite and they will come up every time you open that up. So you can just click right back in there and they will come up for you. On the left-hand side, there is how to sign up for monthly content alerts. All you need to do is put your email address in there, and it can be your home email or work email, whichever you prefer. And access is really, really easy. You can access it from any device in your facility, as long as you're on the facility's Wi-Fi network. There's no need to log in, as access is provided via IP authentication. You simply go to the URL, which is aornguidelines.org. And you don't need to worry about the IP address situation. We're happy to work directly with your IT department with any questions they may have on setting up the Guidelines Plus. And another great thing is if you're not at your desk or on your computer, you're moving around, the site automatically adapts to look good on tablets and phones. And we talked about personalizing your access to the eGuidelines Plus, which allows you to do the favorites that we discussed a little while ago. But an added bonus of that is by creating that personal account, the site will then remember you for up to 90 days. This will allow you automatic access when working from an off-site location. You can also sign up for the monthly alerts that I mentioned before, and then you're aware of all the changes or additions that have been made during a specific month, and that you are using the most current guidelines and related tools. Let's look at the different types of subscriptions there are. There are different types of subscriptions available depending on the size of your hospital or your system. Single-site subscriptions are for individual hospitals and based on how many simultaneous users you would need. Multi-site subscriptions can be customized to the size of your health system. Prices vary depending on the size and length of your subscription. Subscription terms can be from, say, 12 months to 36 months. Most people do the 12 months, but for example, if you are an AORN periOp 101 customer, you can have your subscription to the eGuidelines Plus coincide with your periOp 101 contract dates. Then your periOp 101 administrators and students will have access throughout that contract term. Michelle and I would like to thank you for your time viewing this video today. And if you would like to have a short trial subscription to the Guidelines Plus, or place an order, or if you have any questions at all and want to set up a time to discuss this further, please contact periOp solutions@aorn.org.